We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Kendall Lamm, Miami Dolphins, swing tackle, and honestly, he proved in this Week 1 game, like, how valuable he is to this team, like, especially as, like, a depth player, being that swing tackle, that sixth offensive lineman, super important for this team now, because, like, last year, it was like, if Tua went down, they were screwed, and the second player went out, if it was Armstead, they were screwed as well, and Lamb comes in and plays pretty well to pick up for Armstead, and it was really nice to see. Like, I feel like in pass protection, he really stood out, was really solid, and then versus the run was, a little more inconsistent, but he had plays like this where you could just see the power. Pretty good athlete. Like, he's just an all around, like, no big weaknesses to his game. Like, when it comes to, like, the technical side, mental side of the game's athleticism, play strength, it's all pretty well balanced. Like, I don't know if he has any elite traits in those areas, but everything looks pretty nice. Nice to see him climb to the second level. Like, he's also having, like, a late career surge. Like, he's over 30 years old, and he's, like, really starting to come into his own, which is always awesome to see. You can just see the shock power in his hands to take out Kendricks there, who's, a pretty good linebacker, a little undersized. So you can see him when he's uncovered like this. They're running some, like, a sweep outside a wide zone to this side of the field, and he just climbs instantly to second level, takes on the linebacker, takes a pretty good angle, and then the hands, the power, takes him to the ground instantly. And, that linebacker, if he didn't go to the ground, would have had a nice chance to make a better play on Ahmed, picks up 5 yards. But you can just see the absolute devastation that he could cause when he's meeting on, like, linebackers out in space. Kendall Lamm had a quality game in pass pro, got beat a couple of times, like, where he could have had better reps, but going against Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, I thought he just really held his own, coming in as that swing tackle player, being the, left tackle. He looked really good. Like, this rep right here versus Khalil Mack, we'll let it run through here once. He ends up just doing a really good job tying his feet with his hands, staying under control. I think, from a technical side, he could be a little bit better at times, like with his body. He waist bends a little, too much here. I'd like to see him, sitting up a little bit more with his chest, but definitely does a decent job here. His feet are a little out of place, but he's able to recover instantly. He tries to, set this up. Khalil Mack's trying to give him an inside counter. He's able to match it with his feet, and now he's, squared him up, feet tied with hands, using those hands actively. He keeps resetting those hands. This was on one of Tua's underthrows earlier in the game, and then, Tua really responded by, not, delivering some deep balls late in the game that really changed the outcome. So it was nice to see that from Tua, but really good job from Lamb combining those hands with his feet on that play in pass protection. He does a really good job, especially with his hand placement and timing. Lamb does know how to use, like, his torque, his arm length to extend when, working as a run blocker to help, like, kick these guys out when he has, they're running to his side. He's a play side left tackle here, and the edge defender's pretty wide. So instead of, trying to reach him, he just gets there and kicks him out, uses that leverage to his advantage. And once he gets engaged, he's in a pretty good position here from a technical standpoint. And then you extend that right hand. That's all it takes sometimes, Just be nuanced. You don't need to, like, overpower everyone. But extend that right hand, use some torque, and it really just forces this guy to commit to the outside. And then it gets all these cutback lanes. Mostert does a really good job. Mack is too late to come off of it. He does a decent job holding on to it long enough. These are pretty good players, and he's just doing a good job understanding his positioning, his leverage, nuance to the game, fight with your hands, and he has enough play strength to really create enough space there for Mostert to work back to the inside. Nice rep here from Lamb. Versus a wide 9, Joey Bosa here. You could just see he has a nice anchor, shock in his hands, good upper body strength. I really like his play strength to replace Armstead, man. Like, Armstead is one of the best, and really when he went down, like, they were not looking good offensively last season. So having someone like this is so important to this team. See Bosa in that wide 9 position. We'll watch Lamb get explosive out of his stance and able just to recover to the inside. He's really good against those inside counters, and he has enough athleticism to also, watch these guys when they try to beat him to the outside with speed. But he has that inside hand to just lock these things down. Bosa trying to go for, like, a speed to power here, working back to the inside. Lamb's able to sort of reset his hands there to get back inside the chest. Really good job. His hands get thrown up, but he just, boom, resets, stays comfortable. His feet are still good with that lower ankle flexion, and he's just matching Bosa the whole time, and it allows Tua to escape the pocket, find Durham Smythe down the field. Really great rep versus some very good pass rushers. This time, as the backside offensive lineman on this play of outside zone lead, he's able to cut this guy off. Really impressive rep. Like, he helps, Mostert get this to the second level. This is a really nice play. Like, I know I said he did better in pass protection, which he did, but there were still some really impressive run reps, and these were all like done in different ways. One climbing to the second level, one kicking out the defensive end. This time on the backside, reaching this four tech right here, cutting him off, getting out in front, and then just boom, get your hips across. Positioning sometimes is very important. Working active with his hands. Good block by Angled too, getting hyped. But here, just gets off the ball, lateral agility. He squares him up. He wants to get his face across his face here, and all he has to do, he's just fighting. They end up creating some space. No one has hands on right here, and he gets that right hand inside the chest, so he's able to now get control and cut him off. Seal this off. If he doesn't cut him off here, this guy's going to get down and have a chance to hit Mostert, a few yards down the field, but allows him to really get to that second level. Lamm doing a really excellent job with these run blocking reps. I think, in the second half, him and Wynn weren't as good as, run blockers when they tried to run to their side, but they weren't running very often, so I think, it was just more of a comfortability thing in pass protection, but still had some really nice reps to see there from Kendall Lamm. This is a strong inside hand. That inside hand is your power hand, and he just holds this guy from trying to hit that inside move right there on him. This rookie out of USC, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but he was a solid, prospect, and he tries to go to the inside, and you can just see that power. Boom, one-hand stab. I like how he mixes it up, too. Sometimes he'll hit you with a two-hand strike, one-hand strike. These are things that you're taught to mix it up with as an offensive lineman to keep, defensive linemen, edge defenders on their toes. He kind of, his set here, it looks like he might jump set and attack him, but he doesn't. He's sort of like baiting him, wants 45 to commit, then he shoots that hand, and boom, just right hand to the chest, and basically stonewalls him, and he's able to bring his feet with him now, get his other hand on him, and holds it to give Tua time to find a strike for, like a 20-yard gain to Tyreek Hill. Lamm winning in pass protection and as a run blocker in multiple different ways, which is really nice to see that he's not like sort of a one-trick pony where, he's facing one type of pass rusher who only really has one move, and that's what he's best at countering. No, he's facing multiple different types of moves out there in pass protection, and as a run blocker, he's, doing it in multiple different ways on the backside, play side, climbing to the second level. It's really fun to see. Great patience here at the bottom here from Lamm. If you watched my Austin Jackson video, one of the plays where he got beat on was the spin move by Bosa. This isn't Bosa, so it's a little bit of a different example, but Lamm not falling for the spin move at all. You can just see his patience here, waiting for the hands. Sometimes, with those hands, you can get aggressive. We saw the other play where he did the one-hand stab, and he got out there pretty early. But sometimes it's nice to mix things up. You don't always have to be the first one to engage. Sometimes you really want to get the defensive lineman to shoot out first so you can, get a feel for what they're trying to do. And here he's just patient with it. You can tell 45 is waiting for Lamm to shoot his hand so he can, attack his. Because a lot of times when they shoot hands, they're not even trying to go for the offensive lineman's chest. They're trying to, beat that hand to a certain side. And he's just patient. And then now he tries to hit the spin move, which was the perfect time to, not shoot your hands. That's when, like, a perfect, example of it. And he just stays patient, holds him the whole time, never has a chance to even get close to the quarterback because he stayed so square, stayed patient, really like his technique on this play. Really good hands too, active, reset him, and then Isaiah Wynn even comes to help if that were, spin move were to work to the inside, which it had no chance. Last play that we're going to break down here for Kendall Lamm, pretty impressive play versus Khalil Mack, just holding onto the bull rush. You can see the anchor. Ball comes out quickly, so you probably never would have really got there anyways, but it's just important on these big-time plays in the game. This is, towards the end. You can see him get aggressive, and Mack, pretty powerful pass rusher on the outside there. He tries to, hit this outside, speed to power. Lamm gets it here. He's in, a pretty nice position, and he's able to anchor pretty quickly. Only goes back like a little bit, and is able to hold down Mack, and the ball comes out. So nice to see that he has some power there. Austin Jackson also doing a decent job to the opposite side as well. One-on-one with Joey Bosa. His technique could have been a little better, but they slide to the left here, so Jackson gets isolated, which is not super easy, and he is able to at least recover enough to, I think, the O-line did a really solid job overall. I think people thought they were, like, elite. I don't know if I would go that far. I think a lot of it had to do with them getting the ball out very quickly at times, and also Tua did it was probably Tua's best game out of structure, I would say, too, just like when things broke down, he made some pretty good plays with his legs. But really like what I saw from Kendall Lamm in this game with his in both pass protection and a run blocker with his best plays. Gives me a lot of faith for him as a swing tackle. So if Armstead goes down, I'm not as worried about the offensive line as a whole. So if you guys know the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.